today. You could be anywhere, but you chose to be here. And for me, the most valuable currency, more than money, is time. Because when you lose time, when you lose money, you can always earn it back. But once you lose time, I don't think you can turn, the hands of time back to when you were 21. So I just want to clear up the word gangsterpreneur. It's not a negative connotation, but actually a positive one. Because for me, a gangster is someone resourceful or someone who finds ways like BDO. But, kidding aside, I'm humbled to be here. I want to thank David Abranilia for creating such a great platform for different sectors and industries to collaborate and share their ideas and opportunities. Because the greatest blessing in life is uplifting the next person. And I always say, how can you uplift the next person if you're down there with them? So let's first take care of ourselves. Do you know when you're in the airport or you're inside the airplane and there's a emergency? Di ba, naririnig nyo, if the oxygen mask falls down in a case of an emergency, put the oxygen mask first on yourself before you put it on the infant or someone that you love. At first you think, why don't I put it to someone I love first? That's exactly the point. If you're not okay or you're not well, how can you help the next person? So we have to focus on making ourselves the best possible version. So let me share a few things about my history. Basically, I accidentally joined Pinoy Big Brother. It wasn't a goal. It was more of like an opportunity that presented itself. And during that time, I was still studying. I actually took up the entrance exam in LaSalle, Maine. And after that, hindi ako pumasa sa business management. May quota kasi. So talagang disappointing at first. And then, after a while, I said, sige, plan B. Binild. So nag-binild ako, plan B. So sa binild, I took up hotel restaurant management. And the basis for me to choose that is because I had a passion and a love affair for food. I enjoyed eating, and I said I want to make my own income, generate my own income, because my parents, we hit rock bottom, na bankrupt po kami dati kasi malakas yung loob nila gumawa ng iba-ibang negosyo. So syempre, fortune favors the bold, or sometimes wipes them out if you're not so sure about the business model. But they were resilient and resourceful. They got back on their feet. But during those times, noong na-bankrupt kami, wala po sanang pambayad sa college ko because no payment, no entry. If you don't show that you paid for school, you're not able to enter. And I told my parents, I don't need to study. I learned more from the streets than in any classroom naman eh. And they didn't accept that. They said, no, you have to go to school because you're the eldest. Kailangan ipakita mo sa mga kapatid mo na, role model ka. Kailangan mong mag-college. We're gonna find a way. They borrowed money during that time when we were in hardship. And they made sure I was able to go to college. So my only goal was not to fail any unit. Kasi bawat bagsak na unit, babayaran mo yung unit eh. So ayokong umulit dahil yung purpose ko, ayokong magsayang sila ng pera na wala sila. So, ang ginawa ko, nagbebenta po ako ng mga sandwiches, mga kebab wraps. Galing sa bahay, binibenta ko sa mga classmates ko. Tapos doon po nila sinabi sa akin, okay yan, okay itong pagkain na, why don't you open a restaurant? Well, it was an idea, why not, at the time. But I wasn't so sure about it. And the other source of income that I also went into was, I did TV commercials. I tried out, lakas loob lang, confidence lang. Pero during that time, I was more huggable. And I said, okay, I gotta trim down, I gotta eat healthy, take care of myself. And I was rejected so many times in different auditions. And there was this one time, it was a final casting. I was so happy. Kasi yung final casting po, after nung siguro 100 kayo, mga 10 na lang yung papabalikin. So, nung time na to, na-excite ako kasi first time ko magka-final casting. Ibig sabihin, mas malaki yung chance mo mapili, pero hindi pa sigurado. Tapos sinabi ko sa tito ko, Uncle, I'm just gonna go, excuse me for a while. I was working with my uncle in the carpet shop of my dad, the Kazemi Persian carpet, sa may Sanlo, yung corner na yon sa Pasay Road. It's been there for 20 years. And I was answering the phone. I had to earn my allowance. Hindi ako basta-basta binibigyan ng dad ko. Kasi Persian eh. Parang Chinese sila. Silk Road, di ba? Pareho silang mahirap humingi ng allowance. Hindi basta-basta. You have to earn your keep. So, I had to answer the phone, be a secretary, you know, do different chores. So I said, excuse me, Uncle, I'm gonna leave first, and I'll be back later. I'm just gonna go to this audition. Alam mo ba, siya pa nagsabi sa akin, minsan kasi yung mga, the people that is closest to you or that, you know, you care about the most, sometimes, indirectly, they will bring you down. They don't mean to, but maybe sila mismo hindi nila nagawa, idadamay ka nila, oh, wag mo na, gawin yan, wag na, hindi na kaya, hindi ka papasa dyan. Kasi yung commercial nung time na yun, it was for bottled water. I think it was Wilkins. And then, all we had to do was swim, summer, and then get out of the swimming pool and then have a bottled water. So, he made fun of my weight at the time because I wasn't, you know, I wasn't that top condition, but I was working on it as we were debating. Sabi ko sa kanya, no, Uncle, I want to try out. I would never know. Malay mo, makuha ako. Hindi, wag na. Order na lang akong pizza. Dito ka na lang. Inasar mo na ako. Order ka ba ng pizza? Paano ka nakatulog? Hanggang ngayon, lagi ko yung sinusumbat sa kanya. Ngayon, wala siyang masabi sa akin. Pag nakikita niya ako, saludo na lang siya kasi I never took no for an answer. So, when I went to that audition, funny story was, I was chosen but only as a supporting cast. But I was happy because I was getting paid as a role player. Just, you know, kasama ko yung bida yung nasa harap. But I took my job seriously. I gave it 110%. So I was doing my best effort on the side. And then the director yells, cut. Pakiulit, sinabi dun sa bida. Kasi naka-formation kami, parang V formation. And then, pinaulit siya. Tapos nun, I was just doing my thing, you know, hindi ko pinansin yung mga ginagawa nila. Basta ako dito, kung anong tinuro sa akin, I'll do it the best I can. Take 2, cut. Take 3, cut. Palitan na yan. Kian, lipat ka dito ka sa harap, dito ka. Pinagpalit po kami. Tapos yung pinagpalit kami, yung nag-action si Direk, I just did exactly the same thing I did as a role player or as a sidekick. And then, the effort I placed was the one chosen. Buti na nga lang kamo, ngayon po yung napili. Dahil yung pumasok po ako, nagyabang na ako sa mga kaibigan ko sa school. Pare, may commercial ako, panurin mo. Eh yung pala yung paglabas ng commercial, yung nasa gilid, tenga lang yung nakita, gumaganon lang, extra lang talaga. Yung nakita lang yung nasa gitna. Buti pinagpalit kami. So, I carried on this philosophy from that small audition to the next level, which was the audition for Pinoy Big Brother. I didn't have a plan to join, and I didn't have a restaurant business yet. I was still doing my OJT in the Mandarin Oriental sa Makati. Before, meron pa yun. Tapos, sabi ko, nako, I want to own my own business because I want to own my time. And for me, if I own my time, you know, that's the best blessing. Kasi sa Mandarin, talagang yung oras ko, nakatayo nga, tagabukas ako ng pinto, concierge, tagabuhat ng bag. I felt, you know, it was a humbling experience. Tapos pinapagalitan ako kasi, yung nakita ko ng uwian na, yes! Gumaganon ako. Pinagalitan ako ng superior. Excited ka umuwi, Sige, talsik ka na dito sa department na to. He fired me from that department. And that taught me a valuable lesson that if you work based on your clock, you're not gonna have an effective or productive result because you're excited to go home. That means you're not passionate or you're not in love with what you're doing because you can't wait to go home. But if you're in love with what you're doing, you forget to eat, you forget to check your time, you forget everything because you're so in the moment. And that's when you create beautiful things that will pay off. So going back, I was with Monaco agency at the time. Monaco was the one who encouraged me. They gave me my first commercial. And my first paycheck for that commercial was 28,000. I'll never forget. And I gave it to my mom. I said, "Ma, para sa'yo yan. Dahil lagi mo ako binibigyan ng allowance, mas madali ako humingi sa'yo kaysa kay Dad. So, para sa'yo, mag-shopping ka." I remember, because I had the confidence that I was gonna get more jobs after that. And true enough, I believe your thoughts become words, your words become action. I swear by this, the law of the universe of attraction. Siyempre, you can't just think and say and do without getting your ass off the couch. Of course, you have to move. You have to keep going. You have to keep, getting out that door and creating something. So, yung sinabihan po ako ni Bernard, yung owner po ng Monaco agency, sabi niya sa akin, may special audition para sa Pinoy Big Brother. Sabi ko, ano yung Pinoy Big Brother? Wala, ano lang, parang pupunta lang kayo sa bahay, magpapakatotoo kayo, ilalak kayo sa isang bahay, iba-ibang mga personality. So doon po ako natuto makipag, how do you say it, to engage from people with different backgrounds. So doon po ako natuto na maging flexible. Kasi psychological house po yun. Pinoy Big Brother was a franchise from the Netherlands where it's actually award-winning franchise because iba-ibang bansa in-acquire to. Philippines, Australia, you name it. And then, the goal here is, there's a psychiatrist who's gonna make sure you're mentally fit, you're not crazy, you're not gonna kill anyone, and then you're gonna be from different walks of life and different character traits. Quiet type, maingay, magulo, talagang iba-iba. And then, they're gonna put you in one house, and that's when the magic will happen. Lalabas na yung mga kung ano-ano. So, when he explained to me, kailangan ko lang magpakatotoo, sabi ko, madali lang yan. Kasi prangka ako eh. Minsan, it's good, minsan it's bad. I have a sharp tongue. Sometimes, my dad said, your tongue can get you crowned or can get you killed. So, use it wisely. Your words can move people. It's powerful. Like fire, you need a certain amount of fire to keep yourself warm. But too much fire will burn the house down. So you don't want to do that. Even in your business, your temper, you gotta manage your temper. So my dad is my best guidance counselor. So going back, the audition, my agent said, okay, come here to ABS-CBN. So yung audition na yon, only different commercial agencies were called as a special screening. So, different companies with their own commercial talents were sent there. So, I was up against, tall guys, mestizo, you name it, may abs. Ako, confidence lang. Confidence lang po yung dinala ko doon. Tapos, sabi ko, it's gonna be fun, let me try out. So, I was on the way, but I was late. And when I was late, my manager called me, "Nasaan ka na? Naku, late ka na. Tapos na yung audition." Hindi ako naniwala po. Sabi, ano tapos na? Malapit na ako. Sabi niya, huwag ka nang pumunta. Sabi niya, yung nagpapunta sa akin, sinabi, huwag ka nang pumunta, umuwi ka na, mag-U-turn ka. So, ako, pasaway, hindi ako nakinig. I still went on. So, when I got there, true enough, the doors were closed. It said, auditions are over. Try again next year. The doors were closed. No one was there. So I knocked, I had my birth certificate and other requirements kasi may mga requirements. Pagkatok ko, pagbukas ng babae, masungit, sabi, ano po yun? Ma'am, mag-audition sana. Di ka ba marunong magbasa? Sarado na, oh. Tapos sabi. So ako naman, makulit. Sige na po, please explain. Hindi, tapos na, next year ka na. So she tried to close the door, I put my foot in, and then I said, "Ma'am, please," I was still trying to plead my way. For that few seconds that I was still asking, the supervisor walked by. Ano yan? Supervisor. Sir, ito kasi yung gusto mag-audition. Tapos, nakiusap na naman ako doon sa supervisor. So, binola-bola ko. Ayan, binola-bola ko siya. Ayan siya eh. Tapos doon, sige na nga, papasukin mo na yan. I really shook his hand and I said, "Sir Ron, if I get this job, I'll never forget you." Because all I needed was one yes. And then I was in there, in front of the panel of big bosses. Si Direk Loren Jogi, yung head ng production ng ABS-CBN, talagang mga bossy. So kilala nila lahat ng pumapasok. O, sino ka? Wala ka dito kanina. Sorry, I'm late, sir. Oh, never mind. Tell me your name and your life story. And as the rest would say, you know, that's history. And I think that opened a lot of opportunities for me. And it was the same time when I got into the Big Brother house, was when we opened our first Persia Grill restaurant. And now we are Persia Grill Concept Group. We have 8 branches of Persia Grill. And then we have 3 other concepts, Lobo Filipino Tavern. We have Kite Kebab Bar. It's more of like a drinking place. You can hang out. And then we also have canteens in schools. We have Shiraz Catering. So now we are diverse and we're innovating because if you don't change in business, you die. So change is part of, you know, growth in business or in anything you do. Kung hindi tayo mag-a-adjust, wala pong mangyayari. And yung funny story is, may dalawang klase nagbubukas ng restaurant na tao. Dalawang klaseng tao. Yung una po, yung may pera at nagbukas ng restaurant. Yung pangalawa, kailangan kumita ng pera, kaya nagbukas ng restaurant. Ako po yung pangalawa. Kailangan po namin kumita ng pera. At yun po lang yung alam namin. Kasi, I told my parents, could you help me out? I wanna own my own business. Hiram muna ako pera sa inyo. Yung capital, babalik ko sa inyo. Tulungan nyo ako mag-start up. Eh, sakto. Nung nakakuha kami ng location sa may parking lot ng Valero Street sa Salcedo Village, yun po yung lucky chart namin, yung maliit na area na yun. Ano lang siya? We got a 40 square meters na location. Yung una namin restaurant, 40 square meters. So, lalagay mo pa ng kitchen yun. Sabihin mo 6 square meters, may banyo pa. So, yung seating capacity niya, mga 15. 15 lang yung kasya. So, unang araw, benta namin 1,000. Ninernervo si nanay ko, naku, 1,000 lang yung benta natin. Nanay ko yung cashier. Ako yung server, ako yung all around ako. Yung dad ko, nagmamando sa kitchen. Tulungan kami, naging family business. Tapos bigla, yun yung paglabas ko ng Big Brother eh. Sabay nagbukas yung restaurant, paglabas ng Big Brother. Yung leverage po, humihirit po ako sa loob ng bahay ni Kuya kasi alam kong may camera eh. Sabi ko, paglabas, kain kayo sa Persia Grill, sa may Salcedo Grill. Nagpa-plug ako eh. Shameless plug. So after a while, konting tiis, kailangan mo tiisin, hindi pwede overnight success. Walang such thing as overnight millionaire. Wala. Loto, sige, tumaya ka sa loto, ako, magsisipag ako sa negosyo. Maunahan kita, mas yayaman ako agad sa'yo. Kasi, loto, you don't hold your faith. In business, you try every day. Don't look so far. Just like in your love life or your marriage. Love your husband or your wife only for today. Don't love them tomorrow. Today muna. Tapusin mo natin muna yung araw. Tapos bukas, mahalin mo ulit. Kasi pag masyadong malayo yung tinignan mo, ma-overwhelm ka eh. Parang ang laki-laki ng problema. But if you break down the problem in small dosage, makakayanan mo siya. Isa-isa lang. I-solve mo muna hanggang matapos mo yung una, then move to the next. Because if you keep jumping and hindi mo tinapos hanggang dulo, babalikan ka na naman ng problema na yan. Tapusin mo hanggang matapos para makarelax ka na sa issue na yan, then move to the next. And then when we came up with our concept, hindi po kami mahilig kumopya. Kasi yung iba, di ba, unlimited rice, chicken, yan ang gagawin natin negosyo, gayahin natin. Hindi po yun sustainable. Ang sustainable po na business, yung creative ka. You have your own imagination. Kaya kapag may kumopya sa amin, that's the biggest form of flattery, yung kopyahin ka. Pero sabi ng tatay ko, sige, okay lang, kopyahin nila tayo. Kasi kaya natin mag-innovate eh. Gagawa tayo ng bago. Sige, kopya na naman kayo. Gagawa na naman kami ng bago. So, ibig sabihin po nun, push your limits, push your imagination further. Sabi nga ni Einstein, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. but imagination will encircle the world. And I believe in that. Yung knowledge, kung ano lang basahin mo, hanggang doon lang yung kaalaman mo. Eh pag nag-imagine ka beyond what's over this fence, then you can come up with something no one can replicate. And for me, business should be enjoyable. If you don't love what you're doing, please stop, drop it, and move on. Say goodbye to whatever you're doing if you're not excited to do it in the morning. Ako, love-hate relationship ako sa restaurant business. Minsan, love na love ko. Minsan, hindi ko masyadong gusto yung ibang department. Pero kailangan kong matuto. Or I need to learn every department as an owner. I need to know what everyone is doing. Ikaw, anong ginagawa mo? Ikaw, anong ginagawa mo? I have to know every corner of the business. That's what I learned from my parents. Simple lang yung business eh. Hindi mo kailangan ng mga big words. Ganito lang yan. Sabi, tanong mo rin sa ibang mga Chinese businessman. Maliit, labas, malaki, pasok. Ganun lang kasimple yung negosyo. Maliit lang yung investment na ilabas mo. Tapos yung return mo dapat times 3 or double nung linabas mo. I believe in doing everything big in life except business. Always start small basta pagdating sa negosyo. Para pag nalugi, at least maliit lang yung nalugi sa'yo. Hindi malaki agad. Kasi pag nagsimula ka sa maliit, mas matututunan mo, you're gonna grasp the whole ideology, the philosophy of the business. And then you expand. Hindi yung expand ka lang ng expand, hindi mo pa natutunan yung iba. Learn along the way. So, I want to share a few things about my parents. I think that they're my greatest teacher. They were selling t-shirts and toys sa sidewalk ng Baclaran. Sila po nagbigay ng mas magandang oportunidad sa akin kasi ang lakas ng loob nila pero mahilig sila mag-sacrifice. So they were working students. My dad came here when he was 19. He studied in CEU, dentistry. And then, kasi revolution sa Iran. So he wanted to be a dental medicine practitioner. And my mom was from Iloilo, Ilongga. Kabalaman ko mag-Ilonggo, jutay lang oh. And she met my dad. And they were working students. They would teach me the value of money. But they told me never to be in love with material things or possessions. If someone likes your jacket, sige, bilhin mo na lang to sa akin. Ganun sila. They don't get attached to material things. Remember guys, our time is limited on this earth. May expiration date po tayo lahat, kahit sino ka. Kahit gaano ka kayaman, kasikat, mahirap, middle class, doktor, engineer, artista, may araw ka din. So, let's use our time on earth wisely. We have 24 hours in a day, no matter who you are. If you break it down, it's the infinite 8. The infinite 8, right? 8 equals 24. So, you use the 8 hours divided to 3 wisely. I learned this from my travels. I invest in traveling. So, I talk to random people. You know, I like talking philosophy and ideas. Kasi, maniwala kayo, kung gusto niyo ng bagong idea, don't look in the same place where you're standing. Move to the other side. Look at the different industry. Get the philosophy from that and incorporate it in your business. Like from sports. I learned so much from sports, like basketball, and I incorporated in the restaurant industry yung ideology ng team play, kung saan ka magaling, dun mo siya ilagay. Hindi lahat pwede shooter. Yung iba defender, yung iba passer, yung iba rebound. Ako yung coach. Minsan playing coach, kailangan nandun din ako. So, you gotta learn it this way. And the infinite 8 hours you need for resting and sleep to recharge. 8 hours you need quality 8 hours for your work and your career. The other 8 hours you need to spend it with the people you love. You need to interact with other people. If you isolate yourself, depression is one of the biggest cause of early death. I believe in mental depression and mental health care is important. Alam niyo ba bakit ako nandito? Dahil marami akong pagkakamali kaysa sa inyo. Mas marami akong I failed so many times in different things. And I also had trouble with depression. Sometimes I felt I wasn't good enough. When I was 16, I used to get bullied in school by my peers. And you know what I told myself? Kasi panganay ako eh. Kailangan matapang ako. Mga kapatid ko, dalawang lalaki. So, wala akong rest back. Sila meron, pag may kaaway sila sa school, sabi ko, sumbong mo sa akin, nandyan ako. Pero ako, wala akong masumbungan. So I had to deal with all these bullies, and I told myself, the best revenge is I'm gonna be successful, and one day, these guys who's making fun of me, is gonna apply and work for me. Pero hindi ko sila i-hire. So ang nangyari, totoo ha, yung mga nambubuli sa akin, nakikita yung mga post ko sa Facebook, tapos nagpapasa ng resume, sige bro, I'll try. They won't apply, you know? And it's humbling that the world is round. They used to be cool in school, but the real exam is outside the classroom. So guys, kahit anong sector o industriya kayo, isa lang po yung common denominator. We are all human beings. We are all emotional beings. So let's use that energy in a positive way. We're not always going to win the game, but the game is long. Let's not play short term. Let's play the long game. And don't let money be your motivator, because that's going to be your biggest downfall. Kung hinabol mo yung pera, tatakbo mo yung pera, palayo. Pero, pag hinabol mo yung success, if you chase success, money will chase you. So I'm going to leave you with this formula for life. Life equals the people you meet multiplied by the things you can create together. Thank you guys.